Is everything to your liking, sir?
Oh, well, actually, no. Could we please get a little bread, and some gluten-free for my friend as well?
No.
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 You know who we are, right?
Yes.
You know who we are.
I know who you are.
Flip us a little bread.
No.
Did you say no?
I said no, yes.
You don't have to do it. Okay.
You will eat less than you desire and more than you deserve.
Fuck it. I'm gonna break this fucking window.
Please let me help you back to your table.
Sorry, man.
I have no
In the beginning of this story, we are shown the main character, foodie Tyler Ledfort, and his date, Margaret Mills, who are talking about a special event tonight. Margaret is smoking, which Tyler asks her to stop, saying that doing so will spoil her taste buds and she won't be able to enjoy tonight's dishes. For Margaret, the event is just a normal event, but she still listens to him and stops smoking. After a while, a boat comes to pick them up, and Margaret asks if everyone will fit in it because she thinks it is too small. Tyler explains that the boat is only for 12 members, meaning that only 12 special people are going to the party today. Tyler also mentions that everyone has paid $1,250 per head to attend the event. Normally, no one would pay so much money just for a meal, but since many prominent people were invited, it is not a big deal for them. Margaret and Tyler are quite surprised by the people on the boat. There are many famous people from the city, and seeing them makes Tyler very excited. After a while, the boat takes them to Hawthorne Island, where there is a restaurant. On the boat, a welcome dish is offered to them by the chef, which is a raw local oyster in a mignonette emulsion with lemon caviar and oyster leaf.
Mignonette emulsion with lemon caviar and an oyster leaf.
pond scum. Delicious.
Margaret does not have much knowledge about the dish, but Tyler says it is a very famous recipe of the chef, after which they both taste it. Tyler likes it a lot, but Margaret does not enjoy it very much. Eventually, they all reach Hawthorne Island, where a lady named Elsa welcomes them. She calls all the guests by their names, but then she calls Margaret Miss Westerville, which confuses Margaret a little. Tyler then explains that for some reason, Miss Westerville could not come, so he invited Margaret instead. Elsa finds this a little strange, because they had invited specific guests for today's meal. However, since Margaret is there, she welcomes her too. After checking all the guests, Elsa takes them on a tour of the island. Elsa shows them how they grow all the ingredients for the restaurant on the island. They even raise dairy animals, crabs, and oysters there so that all the food is absolutely delicious. Some people are very impressed, while some young industrialists even make fun of her.
What happens if you serve it on the 153rd day? Does all...
Elsa also shows them the quarters where the rest of the staff, except Chef Slowik, live. She tells them how the staff works day and night for the restaurant. Elsa's behavior does not seem right to Margaret. It seems as if she is hiding something behind her smile. Finally, Elsa takes them to the restaurant for lunch. They are very happy to arrive because, by now, everyone is very hungry. Many chefs in the restaurant are making unique dishes. Then, the main chef of the restaurant, Slowik, enters and looks at Margaret after speaking with Elsa. After a while, the first dish is served to the guests, which is called the amuse-bouche. Its ingredients are cucumber melon, milk snow, and charred lace. The dish looks so beautiful that everyone starts talking about it. Chef Slowik introduces himself to everyone and tells them that today they will get to eat very different dishes that they have never tasted before. However, the chef requests that they not eat any dish with a full stomach, but just taste and feel it, because their restaurant is very expensive.
Do not eat. Taste. Consider every morsel that you place inside your mouth.
Our menu is too precious for that.
Following this, another dish is served, called the island, whose ingredients are plants and rocks from the island. The dish looks so good that everyone simply stares at it. Before anyone can praise the dish, Chef Slowik states that they are not making anything special in the restaurant because nature creates more beautiful things than they do. Hearing this, Tyler starts crying, feeling deeply attached to Chef Slovik's words. Everyone is talking to each other, and Elsa is listening. Instead of enjoying the food, some people are arguing, while food critics are giving their reviews. After a while, it is time for the second dish, which is the breadless bread plate. This dish consists of savory accompaniments meant to be eaten with bread. However, Chef Slowik says that poor people eat bread, and since so many rich people are here today, it does not suit them to eat it. Therefore, they serve the dish without bread. At first, everyone thinks the chef is joking, but when no actual bread arrives, many people start eating it as a classic dish anyway. Some industrialists request bread from Elsa, but she refuses, prompting them to boast about their status.
Could we please get a little bread, and well?
No.
Elsa, already aware of their status, whispers in one of their ears, "You will eat less than you desire and more than you deserve."
Less than you desire and more than you deserve.
This means they will get less than they want and more than they can handle, but they do not understand her warning. Margaret doesn't understand the dish, so she doesn't touch it at all, and Chef Slowik approaches Margaret to ask why she is not eating anything. She replies that she doesn't feel like eating the dish. Hearing this, the chef requests that she eat it, but she still refuses, after which he leaves. Tyler does not like Margaret's behavior towards Chef Slowik at all. After some time, the chef serves the third dish, called the memory. Introducing it, the chef explains that the dish reminds him of his past. He tells a story about a Taco Tuesday night when he was young. His father came home drunk and started strangling his mother with a telephone wire. Seeing this, Slowik stabbed his father's thighs with scissors and saved his mother. After the story, the dish is served, which consists of house-smoked breast chicken thigh al pastor with tortillas.
House-smoked breast chicken thigh.
What are they, Will?
They're restaurants.
There are images printed on the tortillas related to the guests sitting there. Seeing these tortillas, all the people are startled because the images depict dark secrets they had hidden from the world. This causes everyone to become very frustrated. Meanwhile, an argument breaks out between Margaret and Tyler. Frustrated, Margaret goes to the restroom, where she stands near the window smoking a cigarette. Chef Slowik enters, which scares her because she is in the ladies' restroom. Slowik asks her why she didn't eat the last dish, and Margaret leaves without answering. Next comes the chef's fourth dish, called the mess. To introduce it, Chef Slowik calls forward one of his workers, Jeremy, and tells everyone Jeremy's life story. After the story, Slowik kisses him, and Jeremy shoots himself. Seeing this, all the guests are terrified and try to run away from their seat. However, the chef convinces everyone that this is just a part of the menu, leading them to believe it might just be a show. The dish is then served. Its ingredients are pressure-cooked vegetables, roasted filet, potato confit, beef juice, and bone marrow, dedicated to Rip Jeremy Loudon. This means the worker Jeremy is truly dead. As soon as the meal is served, Slowik asks everyone to eat and orders his workers to prepare the next course. Seeing all this, a rich man named Richard tries to leave with his wife, Anna, but Elsa stops them. His ring finger is cut off in front of everyone.
With which hand, Mr. Liebrand?
What? What the fuck are you saying?
Please hold still.
Witnessing this, all the other guests become terrified and realize this is not a joke. Elsa then asks everyone to return to their seats, and Slowik tells them that all of this is part of their menu. Now, they all understand that they are trapped on the island and their lives are in the hands of Chef Slowik. Slowik calls Margaret into the kitchen, where he tells her that he has planned all of this meticulously, but Margaret is not part of his plan, and her presence is ruining it. He gives her a choice. She can either join his staff or remain a guest. Margaret thinks that perhaps he will spare her life, but the chef informs her that everyone present in the restaurant will die today, meaning she has no chance of survival either way. He gives her 15 minutes to make a decision, during which he serves the fifth dish, called Palate Cleanser. Its ingredients are wild bergamot and red clover tea. During this time, one of the industrialists tries to break a window to escape, but he is unable to shatter the glass. Following this, Anna requests that her husband, Richard, needs a hospital. Slowik asks Richard how many times he has visited the restaurant in the past few years. Richard replies 5 or 6 times. Slowik then asks him to name a single dish he was served during his last visit, which Richard is unable to do. Chef Slowik wants to show them that he has worked incredibly hard to reach a point where he can serve such elite people, but these greedy individuals never respected his food or his craft. Instead, they always found flaws in it, even when his dishes were perfect. The guests then see a man hanging outside the window, wearing wings like an angel. The man is Doug Van Eck, the owner of Slovik's restaurant and Hawthorne Island. Seeing him, everyone is terrified and begs Slowik to stop, offering him a lot of money. But an artist needs respect, not money, something these people never understood. Slowik slowly drowns Doug Van Eck in the water in front of everyone.
You hear? Under he goes.
After this, the chef invites Margaret to his office to ask for her decision. Margaret confesses that she is an escort hired by Tyler for the evening. Chef Slowik then tells her that it has been years since he happily cooked for someone. He then takes everyone outside for the next course and introduces another worker, Catherine Keller. She tells the guests that 3 years ago, Chef Slowik tried to be intimate with her, but she refused. He tried again a week later, and she refused again, after which she stabbed him in the groin with scissors. Following her story, Chef Slowik initiates a twisted game of hide and seek. He gives all the male guests a 45-second head start to run away. As soon as the game begins, every man abandons his partner and flees.
What? Sorry. Come on, you know I'm awful. Wonderful.
Meanwhile, Catherine brings all the female guests back into the restaurant and serves the 6th meal, called Man's Folly. The ingredients of the dish are Dungeness crab, fermented yogurt whey, dried sea lettuce, and umeboshi kelp. The women sit together and talk. Anna asks Margaret if she knows her husband, and Margaret says yes. It turns out Richard is an old client of Margaret's who fell in love with her. Margaret then reveals her true identity, stating that her real name is Erin and she is from Brockton, Massachusetts. After a while, Slovik's guards catch all the fleeing men and bring them back, ending the game.
I heard a pop. A special bite for the last guest to be caught.
Everyone returns to their seat. Chef Slowik then reveals a massive secret. Tyler knew about everything that was going to happen today because Slowik had told him in advance. Even knowing they would die, Tyler brought Margaret with him because his original date, Miss Westerville, had broken up with him. When Margaret finds this out, she becomes furious with Tyler for putting her life in danger.
Yes.
After revealing this, Chef Slowik demands that Tyler cook something in the kitchen, mocking Tyler for considering himself a great food critic. Tyler initially refuses, but Chef Slowik forces him to cook. Tyler prepares a terrible meal using undercooked lamb and butter sauce, which Slowik names Tyler's bullshit. It turns out Tyler is not a real food critic, as he cannot even cook properly himself. Chef Slowik whispers something in Tyler's ear, and after hearing it, Tyler walks away on his own. Next, it is time for the chef to serve the final dish, a dessert. He needs a specific barrel kept in the smokehouse and asks Margaret to fetch it since she has chosen to align with his staff. On her way, Margaret discovers Tyler's dead body. He has hanged himself in a back room. She continues to the smokehouse, where she finds a knife resting on the barrel. She takes the weapon and sneaks into the chef's personal house, realizing someone is following her. Inside, Margaret tries to open a silver door, but Elsa appears and attacks her. A brutal fight ensues, and Margaret manages to kill Elsa in self-defense.
Trust me, I have no...
I didn't forget.
Margaret then enters the room behind the silver door, which is filled with old photographs of Chef Slowik. The pictures show a young Slowik flipping burgers at a fast food joint, looking incredibly happy. However, as his career progressed, the joy disappeared from his face. He had locked away his happiest memories in this hidden room. Margaret also finds a radio and uses it to call for help. Back in the restaurant, it is the birthday of Bryce, one of the industrialists, and the chef brings out a special cake. Suddenly, a Coast Guard boat approaches the island, revealing that Margaret's distress call was successful. A police officer enters the restaurant, asking for autographs from the famous guest. One of the actors secretly writes, "Help," on the paper. Reading the note, the officer draws his gun and aims it at Chef Slowik.
Hands on your head. Everyone, now.
Everyone believes they are saved, but the officer calmly lights a candle, uses it to burn his gun, and walks into the kitchen. The guests realize in despair that the officer is actually one of Slovik's disguised staff members, crushing their hopes of rescue. As the chef prepares to present his final dish, Margaret suddenly formulates a plan. She stands up from her table and boldly tells Chef Slowik that all the food he served today was absolute nonsense, and that she is still very hungry. Intrigued, Chef Slowik asks her what she wants to eat. She replies that she wants a traditional, unpretentious cheeseburger with absolutely no modern twists, along with a side of fries. Hearing this, Chef Slowik personally goes to the grill and begins cooking a cheeseburger for her. For the first time in years, he looks genuinely happy while working, feeling as though he is finally cooking for someone who truly wants to eat his food, just like when he started his career. Once the meal is ready, he serves it to Margaret, who takes a bite and genuinely enjoys it. She then asks if she can get the rest to go. Chef Slowik smiles, packs the burger in a takeout box, and hands her a gift bag. Because Margaret was never part of his original plan and she managed to give him back the joy of cooking he had lost years ago, he allows her to leave the restaurant unharmed. After Margaret departs, the chef distributes gift bags and the bill to the remaining guests. His staff then begins pouring various flammable ingredients across the entire restaurant floor. The guests are dressed in marshmallow-themed ponchos, and chocolate hats are placed on their heads. Chef Slowik stands in the center of the room and drops a lit coal, igniting the floor. As the fire spreads and engulfs the room, the chef announces the name of his final dish, the s'more. The ingredients are marshmallows, chocolate, graham crackers, customers, staff, and the restaurant itself. From a safe distance on a small boat, Margaret watches the restaurant burn to the ground while peacefully eating the cheeseburger the chef made for her. Through his elaborate and deadly menu, Chef Slowik wanted to demonstrate how wealthy, entitled consumers slowly destroy the passion and joy of a creator by constantly demanding modifications and never truly appreciating the art itself, eventually causing the creator's soul to die. With this fiery conclusion, the story comes to an end.